Welcome back. Another Friday, another protest outside a Chicago area ICE facility. Several were arrested after confronting police officers. But out near an ICE detention center in Portland, Oregon, it was a very different scene and not something you see every day. I think that was a dude leading the aerobics class, because nothing says anger like 1980s aerobics. All right, joining me now to talk about these never-ending protests is border czar Tom Homan. Tom, thanks for being with us here. You know, in some ways, I feel a little bit guilty putting these two things side by side because it's complete absurdity in Portland, but very serious in Chicago, right? You've got the latest incident, where 21 were injured, ended up in the 21 were arrested, the injuries of police officers at the Broadview facility in Chicago. So what's the status of what's going on out there? Is it getting worse, Tom?
Yes, it is. They're being empowered by the courts. Every time the courts find, against ICE, whether it's releasing criminals that they've arrested or not being able to use defensive tactics or use less than lethal force like smoke grenades and so forth, they embolden them to do even more. Now, the people in Portland, I wish they all do aerobics rather than attacking law enforcement. It's better than throwing stones and bricks at ICE officers or ramming their vehicles. But what have they achieved in Chicago? What have they achieved? Nothing. ICE is arresting people today. They'll be arresting people tonight. They're going to be arresting people every day. We're not going to stop doing what we're doing. They can protest all they want. You cross that line, as you see in this video, you will be arrested and prosecuted.
Now, Tom, I know that there's been some conversation about whether or not ICE or Border Patrol will be conducting a lot of these deportations in various cities. It looks like Border Patrol agents now are headed to Charlotte, North Carolina. There's been some anticipation of this. It's Border Patrol that will be going into Charlotte, I presume, looking for illegal immigrants. Tell us about what we could expect in North Carolina.
I'm not going to verify where we're going. We're going to a lot of cities, but, I want to make one thing clear. The ICE director, Todd Lyons, he oversees interior enforcement operations. Border Patrol is doing a great job with us. I mean, bottom line is, as you know, Will, the last 4 years, ICE has spent thousands of people down on the border to help the Border Patrol when they were overwhelmed. Now the border is the most secure border in history of this nation because of President Trump. Now we need their help, because 10.5 million illegal aliens came to the border under President Biden. But add that to the 15 million already here. So again, Border Patrol is helping ICE interior and numerous cities, more cities to come. And as we hire the 10,000 new agents, they come online every month. You're going to see more operations in more major cities, mainly sanctuary cities, because that's where our biggest problem is, because public safety threats are released every day, and we know it. So you're going to see a lot more of this coming in most major cities across the nation.
Help me understand really quickly the legal predicate or the background for Border Patrol, say, being deployed to a city like Charlotte. I believe, Tom, and correct me where I get it wrong, but historically or traditionally, Border Patrol's jurisdiction has been at the border and I believe within 100 air miles from the border. Now, Charlotte, for example, we'll use that as you don't want to confirm necessarily where you're about to deploy, but Charlotte is more than 117 miles from the coast, which would include Border Patrol areas traditionally, again, historically, of jurisdiction. But you just told me as well, expect to see us. I don't know if you mentioned that or limited that to ICE, but in cities across the country. So the question is, in combination with Border Patrol, and is Border Patrol capable of going anywhere in America?
Absolutely, yes. Border Patrol has Title VIII authority, which is Immigration Enforcement Authority. They have the same authority as ICE. And the 100-mile thing, that's pretty much due to checkpoints, right? The checkpoints are generally within 100 miles because the proof needed to arrest is much less within 100 miles than is outside those 100 miles. So that's really about checkpoint operations and Border Patrol, standard operations. But Border Patrol can operate in any city in this country. They have Title VIII authority. And again, they're a force multiplier. They have Title VIII authority. As you know, Will, a lot of these operations we're doing nationwide, we have FBI, DEA, ATF, all these other agencies helping us, but they don't have Title VIII authority, so they help us security, they help us, surround the residents where criminal is, they help us, protect ICE agents. But when it comes to those who actually arrest somebody for immigration violation, you need Title VIII authority, and that's where Border Patrol comes in, that's where ICE comes in, and 287G partners, those that we train, want to be a 287G partner, and we give them that immigration authority to act.
All right, I wanted to get your reaction on this last story, Tom, and it's California set to revoke 17,000 commercial driver's licenses given to immigrants. This is after obviously a lot of attention and a lot of pressure on what's happened coming out of the state of California. Gavin Newsom is acting like this is standard operating procedure. It's not in response to anything, any attention or any pressure from the Trump administration, but it does leave the obvious open question, Tom. Why were they ever, if they're being revoked, why were they issued in the first place in California?
It's a sanctuary state. Everything he does for illegal aliens just entices more to come to California. And look, I've been screaming out this for years. You got an illegal alien who don't speak English driving a 3-ton truck down a highway at 75 miles an hour, who can't read a sign, accident ahead, icy bridge ahead. All these danger signs they can't read or understand, and that causes a huge, huge public safety threat. And I'll go a step further. Do what Governor Abbott did in Texas. All the Mexican tractor-trailer drivers coming through the port of entries. Based on the 4 decades I've been doing this, many of those trucks don't meet our mandatory standards for highway safety with brakes and safety equipment. We need to go a step further and look at every truck coming across that POA and make sure they're safe to ride our highways.
All right. Tom Homan, appreciate the time today, Tom. Go get an exercise class, maybe aerobics, and get back to the job, which I know you will do. Thanks, Tom.
Hey, it's Will Cain. Click here to subscribe to the Fox News channel on YouTube. It's the best way to get our latest interviews and highlights. And click to subscribe to the Will Cain podcast for full episodes right now.